Hey guys, it's Steve for the Asian Info Channel 1, and I'm filling in for Rich today. I want to talk a little bit about something that I've discovered in my retirement years. And I want to talk a lot about this because it's something that I think all you guys can kind of learn from, the new guys that are coming over here, even some of the older guys that have been here for a while. And a lot of guys here kind of get disgusted with life. Some love it here, some don't. And the ones that don't, this is basically for you, kind of. And also for the other people, you might learn a little bit too. One of the things I discovered when I reached my retirement years, which I was a person, I usually worked two jobs all my life. I had two jobs, sometimes two full-time jobs, working around the clock for my family, and I might add, most of the time it was very unappreciated. You know, when you're married to a woman, women don't understand the sacrifice that men um, put out there for their families and for their wives, and it just goes unappreciated. And for basically 40 years of my life, from the time I turned 20 onward, whenever if when I was married or in a relationship or whatever, I noticed that people don't appreciate you. Women don't appreciate you, and I also remembered going to. This is another part of it too. Is that when I went to work, you weren't appreciated. In most cases, I worked for the Lawrence School Department. It's probably the most toxic environment that you could be in. It's a very toxic environment because the people up top are all jerks, to put it bluntly. They're very toxic. They kind of manipulate people just for their entertainment. I'll say that. If they don't like you, they don't like you. They don't like anybody below their level. They hate everybody, and they treat you so, even including the teachers, janitors, custodians, the school safety officers, office workers, whoever you were, they did not like you. And let me shut this door here for a second. I got the cat in there making a lot of noise. Anyway, you weren't appreciated, and after a while, you kind of get this attitude that you wish time away. You wish your time away. You can't wait till you get retired. And I remember being in my 30s and 40s, and I'd have time off, like on vacations, but I wasn't looking forward to the vacations. That was part of it a little bit, but I was looking forward to being fully retired. I wanted to retire at 55 so I could start my life at 55. I felt like a slave, and you kind of have no control over your life because of all these people that are toxic, miserable, and you learn sometimes that you're kind of better off being alone sometimes than you are being married. There, the women in the United States just don't appreciate men as much as they should. They look down upon men. They look at them as, okay, this guy's going to carry me for another 20 years or whatever, and then maybe I can bounce and move on to somebody else. That's kind of what's going on with these people, these women. And the men just don't get it. We get it when we're older. We learn the lesson when we're older that women are never going to appreciate you. They're just not going to. And then, I just look forward to retiring. I didn't know what I was going to do in my retirement. At first, I was planning on going to Belize. That was my original plan, was to go to Belize. I had met a woman down in Belize, and it just didn't work out. It just didn't work out. She wanted to go to the United States, and I wanted to go there. And she wanted to stay in the States, even though I said, you can come up to the United States for a couple of years. I says, then we'll go back. She says, no, I'm going to stay behind because I have a kid and I want my kid to finish school. And I'm like, well, that's not going to work for me. And I had already put in all the paperwork. The paperwork was basically approved, and I canceled it. And we left as friends. We were good friends, and we left amicably. And she's a very decent woman. She was from Guatemala, but she was a Belizean too. Like, she was half Belizean, half Guatemalan, and very nice lady. And after a while, I just decided that Belize was way too small for me because it was about the size of Massachusetts. And it's just tiny. And the people there's 325,000 people there, basically. And Everybody knows everybody. I mean, literally, you can go to any town. They know what you're doing. They know your movements. If you have a few Belizean friends, news gets out about you, who you are, where you come from, your the wealth factor. I did not like that because you couldn't have any privacy there. It's a little bit like that in the Philippines here too, but it's it's not that bad. But when I got to the Philippines and I finally retired, I was like, wow. I spent 40 years of my life waiting to get to this point. I wasted 40 years of my life basically not being happy, saving and stuff like that so I could have a better life now here in the Philippines. And when you consider that, man, like how do you get enjoyment when you're in a toxic atmosphere? You're working 24/7. You basically might have 1 or 2 days off a week if you're lucky, and you're trying to make the best of your weekends. You got I had one kid. I had some other kids from that my wife had at the time, and it was miserable. It was not a happy time during that time because the kids are either in chaos, your wife is in chaos, your job situation was in chaos. It was hard to be happy. It was hard to live the dream, the American dream. The American dream really is. I mean, there are people that live the American dream. They're very lucky if you find a good wife in the United States and you have a good life and a good job. People that basically work for themselves are probably the best off. In some cases they're not. It's actually worse because it's hard working for yourself and being in charge of everything. And it takes up a lot of your time and you don't have time for your family. And, I look back and say, well, maybe if I had more time with my family, but even then, I don't think that would have fixed things. I don't think it would have because the United States is so messed up. The women in the United States, not all of them, but a good chunk of them are of that mind that, they don't really care about their husbands. They just don't care about their husbands. And that's one of the things I liked about the Philippines. And I'm really, really happy about that because I finally found somebody in the Philippines that's really, really decent, really treats me good, really respects me. She respects everything about me, my finances. She respects my home. She's a very respectable woman. She loves me. I love her. And you couldn't find a better woman than Susan. That Susan is an incredible person. She is like the dream person that every man would look for. As far as the way she treats you. She's just a wonderful woman, beautiful woman, and she supports me. And I love nothing more about her than the fact that she supports me and she looks out for me and she got my back. People back in the States don't have your back. And it's something that I miss from when I was a kid. I remember when I had friends, man, they had your back. I remember when I was in the military, a lot of my friends had my back and I had their back. We've kind of grown out of that in the United States. And I discovered over here now that I have to start looking out for myself and also for Susan. And I look out for her family because her family is kind of like my family over here. And I look out for my daughter back in the States and my grandson back there too. I love both of them. And, I try to take care of them as much as I can too. We were estranged for a while and we're back being, talking and being friendly, and that's a good thing. So my life has kind of come full circle here in the Philippines. And one thing I notice is that time flies, and I think a lot of you guys are going to realize when you retire, the time goes by fast. My past 7 years, that's the cat out there making, I don't know what he's doing. My past 7 years has been incredible, and it's just phenomenal how fast that time flies. I mean, I've made a ton of friends here. I've gone through some bad things too. I've made a lot of friends here. I've managed to help a lot of people get their SRVs. I've helped people get claims through the Veterans Administration, and one of them got over $200,000 in back pay. A lot of people that I've helped. I've helped a person that was basically living in the streets in a van, American, over here, and we've got him Social Security, which he didn't think he had, and we also got him through the VA. We got a claim through for him, and he got 70%. So I mean, we've done a lot. We also help an orphanage here. I'm really, really happy with the way things are going here, and I kind of enjoy doing those things, but I also realize I have to do some things for myself sometimes. And I've come to the conclusion after 7 years, and it's one of the reasons why I let go of the other channel and I started this channel. The other channel, I was locked into just talking about expat stuff. And I formed the Boston guy, and I still work with Rich on this channel here. And I let go of the Philippine Info channel, and Rich switched the channel name for himself because he wanted to be different. He wanted to come under a different name and everything and just not be associated with the old channel. And I understand that because he's in Thailand, so it was good that he changed it to the Asian Info Channel 1, and that was an awesome move for him. And Rich and I are good friends, and Rich is going to take a year to make the channel work. It's going to take a while. It took me a year or two to get focused on what I wanted to do and get my mind together and become Steve on the Info channel. You know, there was a lot of people that really loved that channel, and I appreciate that. And then I formed the Boston Guy channel, which is my new channel, but I also, like I am right now, I'm helping Rich on this channel here. And I enjoy doing both, but I just send Rich a couple things to post maybe once a week or twice a week, just to kind of help him along. And it also keeps the subscribers like you guys watching. Even if you just watch me, it helps him, you know, and I wanted to help Rich. I'm okay as far as everything goes. I'm lucky that I have my pensions and everything, and I'm blessed by that. And I'm blessed with everything over here now. And I just wanted to start stepping back and doing things for myself. There's a lot of things, and I'm working on some things in my life right now to make me happy. And I've been happy for the past 7 years, but I think I'm going to be even happier the next coming 7 years because things are in place now where I'm even more happier. And that's a good thing. And when you're over here, focus on your happiness, not on other people's happiness, your happiness. This is your retirement. You're never going to get to relive it again. And it goes by fast. I see people dying in their 60s over here and early 70s and stuff, you know, and so your time is of the essence. And I notice, like, I wake up in the morning, and before I know it, it's 7 p.m. at night, and you know, and I'm prepping to get to bed or watching TV or doing stuff on the computer or doing my budget or what have you. And I just want you guys to understand, you need to realize that time is going to fly. And when you get older, and everybody mentions this, your time flies by really fast. My dad used to tell me, Steve, he says, you don't realize that once you retire, how time flies. All I know is my past 7 years seems like 1 year. Seems like 1 year. Seems like I just got here. I was thinking back to when I left the school to retire at 55. And that was 7 years ago. And I can remember it like yesterday. And I remember talking to people. And I remember my other job that I had too. I worked also a second job as a security guard on weekends because it was more relaxing. I could kind of sit around more. And it was great for a person that's working two jobs. And I had a dream last night about, you know, working that job, and it felt like just yesterday I was there, and I was like, wow, man, like that's incredible. That's 7 years ago, and you know, and I talk to people back there, and I look at pictures of them on their Facebooks and how different they look. They look so different now. I mean, it's amazing, and I just want to put this out to you guys. Time is precious. Value your time when you live at the expat life here in the Philippines. Value it with your girlfriend. Spend more time on yourself and with good friends too. Even with good friends, I measure my time. I don't get a lot of time to go out there and do things with my friends. I still do some things helping people and stuff, but a lot of times I like to spend at home with my girlfriend, sitting around with my cat, listening to music. I love doing it. I love listening to music. I love playing my guitar. I love playing the harmonica and learning guitar. I got my new 12, I got a Martin 12 string, I got a Martin 6 string, and I got a whole bunch of guitars around here, and every single one of them I love. I love playing the guitar. It's just my thing. I'm learning and I'm getting better at it. But these are things that you guys should take time to do. If you wanted to do something all your life, Now's the time to do it. And is it easy to learn the guitar? Is it easy to learn the harmonica? No, it's not easy to learn the guitar, but it's much easier to learn the harmonica. And I enjoy both. Will I ever be totally proficient at the guitar? Probably never. But I can still play some music on there, and I enjoy playing that music. I've got good neighbors, good friends, and what more could you ask for in life? And make sure you treasure your close friends. Make sure you treasure when you meet that right woman here in the Philippines, because that's life. That's life. Those things are the things that you should treasure the most here in the Philippines or in your expat life. Treasure your family too. Call them once in a while. A lot of people back home, I notice, are so busy. I try to contact my family back home. A lot of them are just too busy to talk to me. I tell them, hey, call me. It's been months for many of them. A lot of my friends, same way back home. I notice that they're just too busy for you. And when people get too busy, what can you do? Focus on the people that aren't busy. That's what I say. But anyway, guys, make sure that you treasure your moments, because time, just like that, clicks by. I know in 7 years, I'll be 69 years old, almost 70 years old. And that time's going to click by just as fast as these past 7 years. And you don't know when you're going to go when you start hitting your 60s. I've seen people over here drop dead at 62, 65, 68, really quick. And one of the things that I've also noted is that a lot of people are not healthy here. They think they're healthy because they feel healthy, but their heart's not healthy. It's clogged up with cholesterol. They're fat, obese, things like that. That's one thing I'm focusing on next. I want to live healthy. I want to live healthy with my girlfriend. I want her to be healthy. And that's what I'm focusing on. My health, and focusing on myself a little bit more. Focus on yourself once in a while. Treat yourself to things once in a while. Treat yourself to a good diet that's going to make you healthy. Treat yourself to good exercise that's going to make you healthy. Go walk 10,000 steps a day. Eat good foods. God bless, guys. Take care. I hope you enjoyed today's show of the Asian Info Channel 1. God bless, guys. And be sure to tune into the Boston Guy channel too and subscribe. Thank you.